Inside Michigan Basketball, delivered by UPS. After experiencing deep regret and disappointment Saturday afternoon against NJIT, Michigan's basketball team relished the opportunity to get back on the floor and make things right against Eastern Michigan and then on the road against Arizona. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inside Michigan Basketball. I'm Matt Shepard. The Wolverines had 2 days to stir over that disappointment against the Highlanders. They knew they were better than that. They couldn't wait to prove it Tuesday night against their crosstown neighbors, Eastern Michigan. Apparently, the Eagles were just as eager. Michigan and Eastern were more defensive-minded than anything else in the first half. Neither team shot the ball very well. The Wolverines struggled against that 2-3 EMU zone, hitting just 5 of their first 19 field goals and only 1 of 10 from deep range. The bright spot was Derek Walton. The sophomore point guard led everybody with 9, hitting 3 of his 5 shots.
Boarded by Walton. He'll run left to right. Found an opening, drives on Talley, scoops to the left hand, off the high glass and down. Gorgeous play by Derek Walton.
It was 21-19 Michigan at the half. The Wolverines started better in the second half with a triple from Zach Irvin and a baseline reverse layup and 3-ball from Caris LeVert.
Now LeVert for 3. Bingo.
Tell you what, Caris LeVert got the memo at halftime because he's coming out and he's ready to play.
But Eastern Michigan always seemed to have an answer. They responded, though, and took a 5-point lead with a little bit more than 10 minutes to go.
Found an opening, fends off Walton, leaves it for a jive. Pump fake, lays it in. And a timeout for John Beilein and the Wolverines.
Michigan would bounce back. LeVert and Max Bielfeldt got them aggressive inside.
Grabbed by Walton. Walton shovels it to Bielfeldt. Good ball fake up the small square and it drops.
Yeah, good catch inside by Max and good finish.
To LeVert on the left wing. To Irvin. Deep 3 on the way. Get in there. Got it.
And U of M led 40-38. The Eagles responded, though, with huge threes of their own. One from Carrington Ward.
An open look for Ward for 3. Got it from the right wing. Carrington Ward on the right side with his 13th triple of the season.
And then they played some more stifling defense that prevented U of M to score in the final 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
LeVert with a shoulder shake at the top. Step back 3 on the way. Give me that. No, it rimmed out. Boarded by Nazioni. And he's fouled by Spike Albrecht.
Eagles in a stunning upset. Their first at Chrysler Center since 1997. Wins it 45-42. Basketball's a funny game, isn't it? Not too long ago, you saw Syracuse with the same 2-3 zone. You collected 17 offensive rebounds. Eastern allowed you to collect just 2. What was the difference between the two styles, if at all?
Well, I can't tell you enough. They're so quick. They're just so quick that we couldn't get good shots. We still tried to crash enough, but we couldn't get good shots. And sometimes the ball just bounces your way in offensive rebound. Sometimes it doesn't. But they did a tremendous job of covering up the glass, doing a lot of things. A really good team.
You have rhythm shooters. I mean, I suppose every shooter is a rhythm kind of guy. Zach Irvin, Derek Walton, Caris LeVert. Why were they unable to get in that rhythm? Was it strictly because of the zone, or was it because of their inability to get the open look?
Well, we really had trouble getting open looks, right? And so that, you know, I told the press, we wore out the chalkboard trying to show them what we could do, but they were always there. They were so quick. You know, it's really important that when you have those type of teams, you got to be able to be shot ready and get rid of it, or you got to have some type of a huge inside presence. We didn't do either one of those things today.
Your team averages less than 9 turnovers per game, yet had 13.
Yeah.
That's not a ghastly amount by any stretch, but it's the kind of turnovers that sometimes bother coaches.
Well, yeah,
right?
I don't like the 3 walks, but we had some ones that were runouts at the other end. Started the game with a runout. That they are very, once again, their quickness bothered us. That no matter where we tried to get the ball, they were all over the place. So they trapped us time and again, and they got their hands on basketballs. And we tried to feed the big guy. We weren't very successful.
You win and lose as a team, but Zach Irvin over the last couple of games has struggled with his shot. Do you need to say anything more to shooters, or you just show them film?
No, I'll certainly look at film with him and see if there's anything going on, but I don't think he had a whole bunch of open looks, and when he didn't knock them down. So all shooters have days like that, or have a couple games in a row like that. Never met one that didn't, so we just try to work with him, show him a lot of confidence, say, Zach, keep shooting.
Coach, thanks.
All right, thank you very much.
Up next, We'll take you with us to Tucson, Arizona, as the Wolverines tangle with the third-ranked team in the country. There's a reason they're number 3, unbeaten in their first 9 tries and unblemished at home in 6 opportunities. We'll be back. Inside Michigan basketball, delivered by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
Michigan, Arizona a year ago at Chrysler Center in a 72-70 slugfest. Michigan, after falling in that game, traveled to Tucson to take on the third-ranked Wildcats. Walton around a screen, rocks the dribble, right side. Chapman jumps into a triple try. Got it from the right side. Cam Chapman buries it from downtown. His 4th triple of the year. We're deadlocked at 6. A bounce pass for Hollis Jefferson. A double team comes, throws out of it to Johnson. A deep 3 on the way, good. Arizona has doubled up Michigan, 18-9. Walton pulled it away, and here he comes right to left in a sprint. Sends off Ristich, no looks. LeVert jumps into a triple try. Bingo! Arizona picks it up. They run left to right, and Johnson with a jam. It's a 9-point lead for the Wildcats. Johnson left corner. York darts baseline. Opposite side feed for McConnell. Right behind his head to York for 3 splash. McConnell with a left-handed dribble. Floater in the lane. Off the right side of the rim, got his own rebound. Tosses out of it to York. York penetrates, runs over Doyle, no whistle, and they're out of it home.
Well, Michigan is just getting beat right now in the effort department right now. And, you know, Coach Beilein wanted to watch these guys play and see if they could play through it a little bit. But right now, Michigan is just not competing.
I think there's been a huge slippage in just how we execute. You can see our scoring numbers are way down from what they normally are. We're just not executing the way we have, and that falls on everybody to get better at that.
Offensively, we did a poor job executing. We weren't cutting hard, weren't setting good screens, things like that. And then defensively, we got a lot to clean up with. They shot over 55% again. Our defensive field goal precision and efficiency has not been good. So we got to get back to the drawing board and continue to work and get better.
When adversity does come, we just got to stay connected as a team because it's a big thing that we need to work on. But we'll get back in the gym and work on that things. We'll be ready to go on Saturday.
We basically have been playing 2 or 3 games a week since we started a month ago. And so we have, this will give us a little bit of time to just try to retool and see what we can do to improve the speed and the pace that we play with. And sometimes that means slower and sometimes that means faster.
The women's story is next. Highlights from 2 of the better teams they play on their entire schedule. A home tilt against Princeton and on the road against the #1 team in the land, Notre Dame.
Welcome back to Inside Michigan Basketball. The women's team won 6 of their first 7 games before dropping 2 straight against the best competition they've faced this season. The Wolverines were unbeaten at Chrysler Center until the Tigers of Princeton came calling on December 9th. After exchanging baskets in the early going, Michigan took a 13-12 lead on a Caitlin Flaherty 3-point play halfway through the first half. Princeton then scored 24 of the next 31 points, and the Tigers ended up with a 17-point lead at intermission. The Tigers shot 58% from the field and 3-point range. Michelle Miller led all scorers with 25 points as the visitors remained unbeaten on the season. Michigan fought hard but couldn't catch up. Senior Saisha Gori scored 14 points for Michigan. Flaherty had 11 points. 85-55, the final from Chrysler Center. Michigan traveled to South Bend Saturday to take on Notre Dame for the 18th time in the series. The Wolverines were huge underdogs, but got a super performance from Gori, who recorded her 5th double-double of the season with 17 points and 11 rebounds. She was one of 8 Wolverines who scored, but it wasn't enough against the Irish, who averaged 91 points per game. The silver lining in the 70-50 loss was holding Notre Dame to its 2nd lowest point total of the season. The Wolverines' leading scorer through 9 games is freshman Caitlin Flaherty, who's one of the highest-ranked recruits in Michigan history. She led her high school team to a pair of championships during her career, and she hopes to be part of a championship team here in Ann Arbor.
Every day we said we want to win a Big Ten championship, and I believe that we really do believe that through our hard work that we show every day on the court, and I think that's definitely attainable if we keep working hard and getting better.
Caitlin averaged more than 30 points per game in high school and knew the college game would be much more competitive.
you can never understand it until you're put in this position, because I know a lot of people who tell you that are at the college level that it's this hard, and you say, yeah, like, I can do it. But once you get here, you really realize between school, the weight of school, and then you have to come to practice every day and give 100%. It's definitely hard, but the team here, no matter what, if you're not feeling good, someone always has your back, and someone's saying, work harder, work harder. Even coach comes in with energy every single day, so I think that really transpires through everyone.
But she loves school, loves her teammates and coaches, and is getting more comfortable each day.
In the beginning, the speed, I told a lot of people, was a lot different than high school, so I had to get used to guards being a lot quicker offensively and defensively. But overall, lately, especially as the game's going, I feel a lot more comfortable within the team. Every now and then, you have to look around. I'm like so thankful for where I am, and it's crazy to work this hard to get here and now have the opportunity to play.
Caitlin comes from a basketball family. Her dad, Tom, played at Seton Hall, and her mom, Lynn, played ball at the College of New Jersey. The Wolverines have just one game this week. They take on Canisius Friday night here at Chrysler Center, with tip-off scheduled for 7 o'clock. The Big Ten season starts December 28th when Michigan travels to Wisconsin. Coming up next, Jim Brandsetter with the story of one of Michigan's leaders and best, and find out why giving back is so important to this former Wolverine great. For Inside Michigan Basketball, I'm Sarah Van Meter.
We're now going to shine the spotlight on a former player from Michigan from back in the 1980s. Now, this is a guy that doesn't like necessarily the spotlight being shined on him, but we feel it's important because of the work he's done with current Michigan student athletes over the past 8 years.
I always find it tremendously kind of humbling and also very rewarding that, so many of you turn out to help with this program.
Every winter, Clay Miller returns to campus to host the Football Alumni Networking Dinner. Current student athletes get to interact with the alumni who represent various career fields. The program has been a tremendous success.
It's really very, very exciting for us to be able to see the things that the kids get out of it, to try to help people find jobs, to give them some advice on career paths, and provide them with connections and relationships, hopefully that'll set them on a path for the rest of their life.
Clay played for Bo Schembechler from 1981 to 85. He was an all Big Ten tackle and an academic All-American. He grew up in Norman, Oklahoma, was recruited by all the big schools, but he wanted to become the third generation of his family to attend Michigan.
I just sometimes pinch myself. I can't believe how fortunate I am. The University of Michigan has just been a tremendous springboard for me and my whole family. My grandfather went there, both my parents went there. My wife and I have gone there. My brother got his PhD there. My daughter's a senior in school this year. It's been an institution that means a lot to this family, going back generations and hopefully going forward generations. And so, we're happy to try to give back to the school, to the football program, to the athletic department in every way we can. And I'm just thankful that they're allowing me and us to be able to find a way to really try to make a difference.
Clay and his wife of 24 years, Lisa, also a Michigan alum, live in the Minneapolis area. They've always supported their school by writing checks. But Clay wanted to do something more personal and meaningful. Lisa, a college business professor, challenged him to start a networking program involving former players.
He was always talking about Bo and how Bo Schembechler tried to do all these wonderful things for the guys and try to be part of it. And we went back and forth and we just talked about it. And I said, well, why don't we think about doing something like that? And why don't you try to think about giving back to Michigan in that way? Because it's, such an important thing to you. And we talk about that, and that's really how it started.
It's the back half of that circle in terms of the promises that are made when you go to Michigan. You go to Michigan because you want to play football at a high level, at the highest level. You want to get a great education, and I still think, bar none, Michigan is the best combination of top-tier academics and top-tier football in the country, full stop. And it's a great situation, but you go to school for a reason. You don't go to school just to play on Sunday, and you don't go to school just to go to school. You go to school so you can have a great life and a great career on the back end. And by coming back and helping the players find those jobs, either when they graduate or 5 years later or 10 years later, then that's kind of the family. That's kind of keeping that promise up that we're going to help each other all be successful, so that when you're 30 or when you're 40 or when you're 50, you've still got, you've got a great job opportunity, and you're continuing to make a way for yourself and have a great career, take care of your family. And that's all part of that, kind of that promise that was made when you were 17 when you signed that letter of intent.
Clay is a founding partner of Stone Arch Capital, a private equity firm based in Minneapolis. His plan as an 18-year-old was to play in the NFL. He was drafted by Tampa Bay, ended up playing a couple of games with the Houston Oilers before he realized it was time to move on from the game. He attended law school at Northwestern and practiced his craft for a couple of years before earning his business degree from Harvard. The Millers have two daughters, Samantha, who's a senior at Michigan, and Sonia, a high school sophomore. So just how does Clay find the time to be so involved with Michigan?
There's always time. The old adage, want something done, ask a busy man. Well, there's always time. You just have to make decisions about how you want to prioritize what you do. And you learn that when you play ball in Michigan. I mean, you learn to prioritize. I mean, we used to say we had a lot of fun when we were in school. And, we made plenty of parties, and we worked hard, and we worked hard in school. What you didn't do is you didn't screw around. When you worked hard, you worked hard. When you played hard, you play hard, but you didn't mess around. And that's kind of a great discipline and kind of a mantra I've always had throughout my career. If there's something that's important to you, whether it be your family or whether it be football at Michigan or whether it be your job or whatever it may be or whatever ways you want to give back, whether it be your church or your community, you can find the time. You just have to prioritize. And that's what this is for me. It's an important priority. And so we make time, and we're fortunate enough to have the resources to help support some of it.
More than 80 former players mentored students last winter, and more are expected to participate at the next event.
People, from Brady Hoke and his staff to Dave Brandon and his staff to Sherry Acho and Bob Lopez, all the people that are critical to make this a success, always pitch in and really do a great job just making the program work. And, I'm kind of the irritant or the catalyst, if you will. I'm the one that got the ball rolling. I send out all the emails. I worked with the athletic department to get all of the email addresses we can kind of gather up and really try to invite as many of the former players as we can back.
Miller says it's critical that today's student athlete take advantage of the program, and he's proud that the football alums are making a difference.
When we first started the program, it was just mandatory for the upperclassmen because they were the ones that were really beginning to think about their jobs. Well, over the last several years, it's evolved to the point where now freshmen through seniors come. And the freshmen, after they've done this for a couple of years, now when they come in, you don't get that kind of deer in the headlight look anymore. So by the time they're juniors, this is kind of expected, this is normal. Now I really have begun to think about this. And even when they're freshmen, now the questions are, well, what should I major in? Or if I'm majoring in this, what did you do to manage my class load? So, it actually is moving back to a point where it isn't just about, okay, I want to get a job in investment banking or the law or medicine. Who do I talk to? Now it's the freshmen saying, I think I want to be a business major. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a lawyer. What classes should I take? How did you handle the class load to make this work when you were in college?
The students need to know that the people that have been there and are willing to mentor do want to hear from you. They do want to hear from you, and students are very shy about that. It's very hard for students to say, well, are they going to remember me? They will. They will remember you. Just say you were at, the mentoring program, I did this, I did that. They're really happy to talk to you about those things, but students do need to take that opportunity. It's just, not everybody gets that opportunity, and there's a lot of people that would love that. So whether you're a student athlete or just a student at Michigan, they should always take that opportunity.
And so it's really kind of fun to be able to help them begin to plot where they're going, and I get a lot of feedback from the players that are there that really enjoy the fact that now they've met the kid for the third time or even the fourth time. And so they begin to have a relationship that transcends an evening or a couple of phone calls. Now it's year to year, so there's a repetitiveness to it, really, that I think sets the example and kind of sets these kids down the path.
Clay Miller, a Michigan man and one of the leaders and best.
Hail to the concrete heroes, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West.
Inside Michigan Basketball, delivered by UPS, is brought to you in part by Absol Pure Water, the official bottled water of the Michigan Wolverine. The Wolverines will use all week long to prepare for SMU. It's the lone game on their schedule this week. No question that John Beilein and the Wolverines could use the extra practice. We'll have all the highlights and reaction from the Wolverines and Mustangs on Saturday afternoon right here on next week's edition of Inside Michigan Basketball. Until then, have a great week, everybody, and go blue.